tonight on News Channel 5 at 6.
Another young person dies after this Sunday night accident in South St. Louis County.
Plus, the University of Missouri and Coach Quinn Snyder answered to charges of wrongdoing from the NCAA.
And how Illinois will pay to fight West Nile this summer.
This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Was a rule broken? Why was it broken? How was it broken? I think all of those questions go to the very heart of this investigation.
Mizzou basketball coach Quinn Snyder offers apologies and promises answers to charges from the NCAA. And that is tonight's top story. Good evening and thank you for joining us at 6 o'clock. Mistakes have been made and I take full responsibility. That word today from Coach Snyder.
Snyder is under fire following a report by the NCAA alleging scores of violations by the Tiger basketball program. So what does this mean for Mizzou? They called a news conference today, and Frank Cusimano was in Columbia. Frank?
It began 8 months ago, and it won't end until this fall. The NCAA report to Mizzou is called the Notice of Allegations. It was 19 pages long with about 40 different alleged violations. And although that seems excessive, some Missouri fans may feel relieved. There was no academic fraud allegations. And there is only one major violation, and that is, did assistant coach Tony Harvey pay a player $250? The NCAA alleges it. Harvey denies it. Today at Reynolds Alumni Center, Chancellor Wallace, President Floyd, Athletic Director Mike Alden, and basketball coach Quinn Snyder were among those who met with the media. Nobody could actually comment on the case, but everybody from Missouri was simply sorry for the whole mess.
I want to offer my sincerest apologies at this time for having all of us have to go through this very excruciating process and what it's done to a lot of us. Certainly we uphold ourselves to very high standards at the University of Missouri as an institution, as well as to high standards that we have at the University of Missouri in the athletic program.
This has not been a pleasant experience for our fans and for our alumni and for the people that support our university. And for that, I'd like to offer my apology. I don't think there's any other way to express that other than to say that I'm sorry for the fact that people have had to go through this. Good people that have been supportive of us.
News Channel 5 Sports has also learned that assistant coach Lane Odom is expected to leave the program within the next 24 hours. As for Tony Harvey, the Kansas City Star is reporting that he has been placed on paid suspension, and sources say Harvey will not return. As for the investigation, Mizzou will respond by July 1st. Now, the Infractions Committee will review on August 13th, and the penalties should come down in the fall. Mike and Dee?
And those penalties could just be a slap on the wrist.
You're right. I think that many people are thinking because there's just one major violation, which they may fight, it could just be a loss of a scholarship or two.
All right, Frank. Thank you.
And trouble could come in threes tonight for the St. Louis School Board. On the table for discussion, consolidating bus service, teacher pension changes, and that rejection by Superintendent candidate Rudy Crew. News Channel 5 education reporter Sharon Stevens is live tonight at Vashon High School where the board is meeting. Sharon?
Well, Deanna, it's true it is a crowded agenda, but of course the superintendent search is at the top, especially since former New York City Superintendent Rudy Crew said no thanks yesterday. Board President Darnetta Clinkscale pressed him for an answer after weeks of him being St. Louis's only choice. Now, Crew is the first choice in Miami, and other cities are interested too, but now St. Louis is looking inside its own ranks for a new interim superintendent. Deputy Superintendents Floyd Cruz and David Fleeg are mentioned as possibilities. We spoke with Ron Jackson, who headed the Superintendent Search Committee.
We're going to talk about it, yeah, and hopefully we'll come up with some decisions. I mean, we don't have much time to go into a lot of detail, but we'll at least plan some additional meetings to make sure that what we do makes sense to everybody on the board.
Now, in addition to needing a superintendent, the district also needs a budget. They were supposed to vote on it tonight and last month and the month before that, and they're running up against a deadline. What they're going to do tonight is vote on an early retirement plan, which might help save the district some money. We'll see what happens. We'll watch and let you know tonight at 10. Reporting live from Vashon High School, I'm Sharon Stevens. Back to you.
Sharon, thanks. Another young person has died after a deadly accident in South St. Louis County. It happened Sunday night on Jeffco Boulevard near the Merrimack River Bridge. 12-year-old Jordan Finley died today from massive head trauma. Her 17-year-old brother Zachary was driving when he pulled into the path of an SUV. Zach died at the scene. 2 other teens in the car were hurt, as was the driver of the SUV. More than 3 months after a deadly school bus accident in Bowling Green, Missouri, the bus driver is out of the hospital. Joe Ross was released on Friday. He was driving when the bus slammed into a parked asphalt truck. The truck driver died, as did a 15-year-old student. 27 other children were hurt. Ross says he does not remember anything from the accident. The Highway Patrol believes he may have been distracted, causing the crash.
A man was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison after getting caught with child pornography in his Kirkwood home. 49-year-old Joe Hutchins pleaded guilty back in February. In November of 2002, investigators searched Hutchins' home and found more than 1,000 computer CDs containing child pornography.
For more than 3 decades, he was the mayor of Sauget. Early this morning, Paul Sauget died. He spent 34 years as the mayor of the Metro East Village, deciding to retire last year after he was accused of misusing village credit cards. He paid the village back. Paul Sauget's great-nephew, Richard, is the current mayor.
I mean, he loved this village very much, loved the people in it, loved the day-to-day coming in here and signing the bills and, you know, talking with his police and fire chief and doing the daily business.
Paul's father, Leo Sauget, was mayor from 1928 until 1969 when Paul took over. According to his family, Paul Sauget had been in failing health. He was 78 years old. He is survived by 4 daughters.
The effort to keep Scott Air Force Base open may get a 2-year extension. The largest employer in the Metro East is on the next round of hearings by the Base Realignment and Closure Commission. Those hearings were to begin in 2005, but legislation has been proposed that would move the next round to 2007. Those working to keep the base open say they'll be ready regardless.
I think that's very important for folks to remember. This is not an effort that it began a couple months ago because we were going to confront this in 2005. We've been working with Scott Air Force Base for decades, literally.
13,000 people are employed by Scott Air Force Base, but it's estimated the facility indirectly results in more than 36,000 other jobs.
A group working to solve the medical malpractice crisis in Illinois is stepping into another political arena. The organization Victims and Families United is demanding an Illinois Supreme Court candidate return more than $36,000 in campaign donations. The group contends Circuit Judge Lloyd Carmeyer is backed by an organization that was dissolved by the state of Illinois a year ago for failure to file an annual report.
The only issues judges really have to run on are their ethics, their integrity, their trust factor, all those types of things. And this really strikes the heart. I mean, this guy has got a group that is financing and in many ways running his campaign. They're dissolved.
A spokesman for Judge Carmeyer says no funds will be returned because the donation was made by an entity separate from the one dissolved. The statement goes on to say this is an attempt to discredit a judge that is rated very highly on the matter of integrity.
Spring in St. Louis means keeping a very close eye on the weather, and today it meant some downpours mixed with sunshine. John Fuller's in the Weather Center with the very latest. Hi, John.
Hi, Deanne. We saw convective thunder showers building up from the heat of the day, and some heavy downpours they were in St. Louis. Look at this. Isolated thunderstorms deposited a 1/4 inch of precipitation mid-afternoon at Forest Park Boulevard near Vandevenner, and the downpours, people at bay, and you had to dodge the puddles and the streams of water spraying away from the roadways. Meanwhile, you could see that not everybody received rainfall. Some of those spots were just very isolated around the region. And now the showers and thunder showers are down to the south. They are drifting mainly to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. We'll have to keep an eye on them for the evening hours. Here's your baseball forecast. Looks like it will remain partly cloudy at the ballpark, warm with temperatures falling from the lower 80s to the mid 70s. It looks like the rain will miss the stadium, and that's good news. We'll have more on the chance for widespread precipitation coming up in a few minutes. Mike?
All right, John, we'll see you then. The state of Illinois is giving more than $2 million to local health departments to fight the West Nile virus. Most of the money comes from a 50-cent fee increase on new tires. 67 people have died in Illinois from the virus. The areas hardest hit will get a higher percentage of the grants. And next at 6, vandals hit an exclusive neighborhood in the Metro East. Find out what a surveillance camera captured and what it didn't next.
And a brother and sister looking for a forever home and the forever connection they have with their foster mom. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Welcome back. That thunderstorm we just showed you on Doppler 5 storm path has turned severe. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 7 p.m. for St. Francis County down to the south of St. Louis. It is moving north at about 20 miles per hour. Folks in the path include Farmington, Park Hills, Leadwood, as well as Deloge and Bon Terre. Once again, severe thunderstorm warning for St. Francis County until 7 p.m. Main threat, damaging winds and some hail. Mike?
Okay, John, thanks. A $2,000 reward is being offered to help catch some Monroe County, Illinois vandals. They covered the entrance of the Stonehenge subdivision with swastikas and symbols of Satan worship early Monday morning. The damage estimates topped $10,000. The development is in a rural area of south of Columbia. Surveillance cameras did provide some clues.
We were able to decipher that it was a truck that had come in at about 1:30 in the morning, and the description after that, we could just tell that it was a newer truck. It was a darker color. As far as the license plate goes, we weren't able to detect that.
Lucido adds the camera captured the images of two men spray painting the entrance, which cost more than $1 million to construct. Anyone with information is asked to call the Monroe County Sheriff's Department.
A brother and sister who have been in a loving foster home for 2.5 years now are looking for a permanent home.
News Channel 5's Jennifer Blome spent some time with 11-year-old Demond and 9-year-old Kiana at the St. Louis Science Center for tonight's A Place to Call Home.
Let's see, we're trying to do The Hat.
Yeah.
The Cat in the Hat. Have you read the book?
Yeah.
We
read lots of his books.
Demond and little sister Kiana enjoy playing together and want to stay together.
Now, how do you two get along?
Good. We don't fight. We don't fight. We might argue what time, but we get along good.
Would you like to get adopted together?
Yeah.
Patrice Woodson is a career foster mom. She currently has 6 foster children in her home.
Well, she must be she's a really good foster mom, isn't she?
Yeah.
What do you like best about her?
That she's loving and caring, that she's sweet.
Do you think it'll be hard for them to leave you?
I think it will be hard. And it's going to be hard for me also because I've had them, like I say, for 2.5 years. But I'm going to go through the process with them all the way, and I want to continue to be a part of their life once they're adopted. And that has happened with all the children that have been adopted out of my home. I've had like 19 children come through my home. It's very inspiring to see the change and the difference that love makes. You know what I'm saying? And
you like to listen to music?
I want to continue to be a part of their lives.
Demond and Kiana are healing from the abuse and neglect they suffered. They have blossomed in the loving foster home provided by Patrice Woodson. And Patrice believes they will continue to grow with constant positive reinforcement from a permanent family.
Demond and Kiana also have little wishes. Demond would like drum lessons, and Kiana would like to go to Build-A-Bear. To help, call the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition, 1-800-FOSTER-3 or KSDK.com. Well, the month of May is shaping up to be a warm one.
And those afternoon thunderstorms are keeping us on our toes. John Fuller has the latest next.
Welcome back. We're keeping an eye on that severe thunderstorm in St. Francis County, well to the south St. Louis metro area. Severe thunderstorm warning for St. Francis County until 7 p.m. Vivid lightning, dangerous lightning, along with some hail, as well as gusty winds accompanying this storm, headed towards Farmington, right over the city of Farmington, Ogborn, as well as Hazel Run in the path of that storm. And we'll go to the wider perspective. You can see that this cell is rather isolated, and it looks as though it will shift off to the east. But folks headed to the ballpark, do be apprised, it looks like it will move off to the east northeast of the stadium. So that's some good news. Well, downpours around the area today, fairly isolated. This is a scene from Chopper 5 looking over the city of St. Louis, where it was drenched by a 1/4 inch of precipitation right along Forest Park Boulevard, as well as Van de Venner. You can see how heavy that rain was. You can't even see right through it. Meanwhile, 1/4 inch of rain on the rain gauge, the electronic rain gauge that NexRad radar allows us to accumulate right through the St. Louis metro area. Very spotty. Heavier rains earlier this morning over northern sections of the area. And you can see how this parade of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico hits the afternoon heat. We see some isolated thunderstorms flare and then dissipate generally after sunset. Slight risk of severe thunderstorms over Kansas and Nebraska. That rolls a little bit closer to us tomorrow as the front gets a little bit closer to the News Channel 5 viewing region. Computer picks up on the spotty nature of the thunder showers and showers until tomorrow late afternoon into the evening hours. A little better chance for rain as that system gets closer. Meanwhile, the action yesterday was out over the plains, and we had some impressive tornadoes, 6 tornadoes in Elbert County, Colorado. We have some video to share with you. This is an F3 tornado, maybe even a little higher, almost a half-mile wide. No reports of damage or injuries from this one, but one twister shredded a barn and a mobile home, and another twister touched down for just a few seconds in Lyman, Colorado. But look at how impressive that tornado twister in central Colorado was. Well, back to the weather maps. We're under the ledge of the warm frontal system, and it is mostly sunny, 84 degrees, our humidity 51%. We're live at the ballpark. Wind south at 14, gusting to 22. Barometric pressure 2992 and falling. Today's high 86 degrees, low this morning 67, and no rainfall officially at Lambert Field, but you did see that rain in the city of St. Louis. Well, back to the weather maps. 84 degrees in Alton, 84 in St. Charles, 82 in Belleville. So it is warm and humid out there. And severe weather watches, tornado watches out over the plains right along that cool frontal system. We are under the ledge of the warm front. It will remain quite mild tomorrow with a high temperature into the lower 80s once again. But with that surge of Gulf moisture feeding into the area, as the morning and afternoon hours roll along, there is a better or an increasing chance for thunderstorms, a high of 83 degrees. Then on Thursday, that front is so close, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms likely Thursday night and especially into Friday with a high of 81 degrees. So here's your forecast. An isolated thunder shower mainly to the south of the city through the evening hours should die out after sunset. The low down to 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, isolated thunder showers, a little more numerous than today, though, with a high of 83 degrees. Thursday, a scattering of thunder showers, higher probability, but then thunderstorms are likely on Friday. It's a given, cooler with a high of 75. The new weekend looks like the rain will move out in time with highs in the mid-70s, lows in the 50s.
All right, thank you, John. Keep us posted.
We hope you'll join us for News Channel 5 at 10. Lisa Zigman first showed you how close some school bus stops are to the homes of registered sex offenders. A proposed Missouri law would make school districts recheck their routes. So why is the measure now being killed? The answer at 10. And the money problems were so bad in this Metro East town, police and firefighters didn't get paid. That's why you won't believe where more than $100,000 apparently went. Join us for News Channel 5 at 10.
And coming up in sports, the Missouri basketball program prepares to answer the NCAA. Rennie Knott is up next with that. Plus, St. Louis U will be looking for a new athletic director.
Plus, Rennie will take you live to Bush, where a familiar face is back in town. Stay tuned for sports. Rennie Knott is here, and his apologies all the way around in Columbia
and now the finger of blame is starting to be pointed as well. You knew there was going to be a fall guy here and there. Apparently, the fallout has begun at Mizzou following the NCAA's investigation into the basketball program. News Channel 5 Sports has learned that assistant coach Lane Odom will resign, and the Kansas City Star reports associate head coach Tony Harvey will not return. Now, Mizzou has until July 1st to respond to the allegations by the NCAA. We're not expecting any severe punishments, though. Frank Cusimano has more.
The media was out in full force, and so too was the brain trust of the university. Chancellors, presidents, athletic directors, and the apologetic head basketball coach.
This has not been a pleasant experience for our fans and for our alumni and for the people that support our university. And for that, I'd like to offer my apology.
The notice of the allegations was 19 pages long and it alleged 40 violations. Some seemed rather trivial, like in the summer of 1999. Impermissible in-person contact when a coach exchanged greetings with a young man. Or in March of 2002, when the basketball department failed to require a recruit to immediately pay for an in-room movie during a visit. But the violation allegedly against assistant coach Tony Harvey is a potential major one, paying a player, Ricky Clemens, $250. The ironic item is that Harvey did not like Clemens and did not want Mizzou to recruit him. On the positive side, there was no academic fraud. Professor Mike Devaney headed up Mizzou's internal investigation.
I'm very much relieved that we did not substantiate any charges of academic fraud.
This should have been a wonderful offseason for the Tiger basketball program. After all, they're about to move into one of the great on-campus facilities in the United States. Instead, their offseason will look like this. By July 1st, they will respond to the NCAA. In mid-August, the Infractions Committee will review Missouri's response. And sometime in the fall, the penalties should come down. In Columbia, with editor Rick Meyer, Frank Cusimano, News Channel 5 Sports.
Thank you, Frank. When the University of South Florida announces its new athletic director tomorrow morning, Doug Woolard will step forward. He's leaving SLU. Wooler had been the AD at SLU since 1994. He hired some quality coaches during his tenure, including Brad Soderberg. Wooler was behind the move by SLU to leave Conference USA with the Atlantic 10 and has been a driving force in getting an on-campus basketball arena built. Well, the time has come for the Cardinals to stop wavering between winning and losing. They haven't strung together consecutive victories in 9 games. It's the Cards and Braves tonight at Busch Stadium, where Malcolm Briggs is standing by live. And Malcolm, this context brings a familiar face back to town.
Absolutely, Rennie. J.D. Drew is back in the house, and from 1998 to 2003, he was in and out of the Cardinal lineup with the frequency of a small ham radio because of injury. So this latest bit of news should not come as a surprise to anybody in Cardinal land. He's missed 8 of the Braves' first 30 games. Ailments like hamstring injuries, neck problems have kept him on the pine for almost 30% of their games, but of late, he's provided a jolt for the Braves, pumping up his batting average from 200 to over 300. And on the road, get this, he's hitting .362. That's best on the senior circuit.
Why are you hitting so well right now?
You're trying to jinx somebody coming in. Huh? No, I think it's just a matter of kind of getting everything together, regrouping, and, I got off to a slow start. Everything's magnified early on, but just trying to take a good quality A&Bs, being relaxed as I can up there at the plate, and just trying to see the ball well.
And if you can see over my shoulder, J.D. Drew just stepped out of the cage as he's getting ready for tonight's game. He is in the lineup, and Rennie, you're right, the Cardinals have to do something. They came back off this road trip 3-3. I'm Malcolm Briggs live at Busch Stadium. Rennie, back to you.
Thanks, Malcolm. And, we got to wonder tonight if it's going to be Boo or Drew.
We'll see what happens. There you have it. News Channel 5 at 6.
We'll see you at 10.